All right, everybody. This is Arun Gala. My podcast is called Grabbing Coffee with Arun, where I talk to everyday people that are doing interesting things. And my guest today is none other than Danielle Chaplain. Danielle, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
So, just to kind of start off with Danielle, tell me a little bit about yourself. I know you're visually impaired, and
Yes. So I've now been walking in my visually impairment for 8.5 years now. I was diagnosed with glaucoma back in 2010, and in 2013 is when I lost the vision in my left eye.
Mhm.
It went out like a light bulb. The pressure in the left eye was extremely high. It was devastating for me because I was trying to push through, hoping that it was going to remain stable. But my doctor had already told me that there was a high possibility I would lose my vision sooner than I thought. So I was kind of prepared, but not fully prepared. You know.
Yeah, was yours like, see, mine? I have retinitis pigmentosa. So mine was
Mhm.
gradual. Was yours kind of gradual, or was it kind of sudden, or?
It was sudden for me because by the time I got diagnosed, I was oblivious. I was like, what? I, you
Yeah.
know, I've never been a real fan of the medical field. So I felt like they were trying to pull my leg because, I've always had great vision. I thought 2020 is great vision. But, later in life, as you get older, you have to sometimes wind up wearing glasses, which wasn't a surprise because my mom wore glasses. So I was like, okay, the glasses is cool. I'll get used to that. But to be told at a young, tender age of, 38 that you're going blind,
Hmm.
it really was a shock. I was, like I said, I wasn't prepared for it. I really didn't want to accept it. Um, So eventually, when it really started deteriorating, and I started noticing a change in my vision, said to myself, "Okay, Danielle, something is really going on, and you need to pay close attention to what's going on
Hmm.
and listening to what the doctors are telling you to do." Um, when it happened, like I said, I was totally shocked because I still was working. I'm a single mom of four girls. And
Right,
my girls all were still young at that time and in school. So it's just me as the provider,
right,
with the help of God, but I was the main source of income in the house. So, it went from me almost losing my job or not being able to work because I was adamant I still wanted to still work. I was like, okay, it's just one eye. I'm going to have to learn to function without that one eye.
you're trying to compromise with God, I guess, right?
Yes, I was trying to
So,
compromise. I'm like, listen, I have to learn to function with
right.
this one eye. So I
So
didn't want to
then,
give up my independence. That's hard.
right, right. So then what happened?
Um, I had to
You had to adjust to being,
I had to transition from the position I had. So I used to be a coach operator. The
I thought,
large metro buses that run in Houston, I
hmm,
used to drive those buses back home in Charleston, South Carolina, where I'm originally from.
hmm.
I drove those buses for 16 years.
Man, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So to downgrade from that position and that amount of pay to working in a front office, because I then wound up transitioning from, well, let me start again. I transitioned from driving the buses to being a relief dispatcher, from
Hmm.
being a relief dispatcher to being a customer service agent, and then from customer service agent to being front desk reception. So I was just like bouncing around in the company, but I still had my job and I was grateful.
Hmm.
But, again, it was hard because holding on to your independence, still trying to drive,
Hmm.
that was hard because I couldn't drive after dark. I couldn't drive when it was raining. It was like, this was a battle. I'm
So how
like, oh
did
my
so how did
goodness.
you end up in Houston?
I ended up in Houston when my oldest daughter got the opportunity to uh, sign on with this modeling agency
Hmm.
here in Houston. And she met this young lady at a modeling show out in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is like close to South Carolina. And she just had graduated high school. That same evening after her graduation, she had a modeling runway show that she was in, and the young lady spoke to her and gave her some pointers and some encouragement on trying to follow and pursue modeling, and she did so she moved to Houston on her own
Hmm.
with transitioning with a couple of jobs that she had back in South Carolina. And in the midst of that, she met a friend who was modeling along with her, whose mom worked for Texas Children's Hospital. So one of my daughters was diagnosed with autism and epilepsy seizures at a young, tender age.
Hmm.
And we were already thinking and praying on trying to relocate to find better medical um, services for her, or better doctors for her,
Hmm.
to per se. I did not agree with some of the things that the doctors in South Carolina were telling me, and especially when one of the doctors came in one day and said, "Okay, we need to do brain surgery on your daughter."
Hmm.
That was a hard no for me. I was
Right.
like, "No, we are not experimenting on my daughter's brain. That's what we're not doing."
Right.
Yeah. So when my daughter called me and introduced me to her friend's mom, who works for Texas Children's Hospital, and
Hmm.
she just spoke so highly of the hospital and how she felt that my daughter could benefit from, being a part of Texas Children's, I was on board. I
Hmm.
started praying about it. I started doing my research and looking into the hospital, Googling as much information as I could,
Right.
finding out about the doctors and, where I needed to start to get her signed up, or, get her involved as far as moving here and finding the best doctors for her, which was really easy. It was a real smooth transition for us.
Hmm.
And I'm grateful for that, because I'm grateful that I held on to my faith, and I just was like, okay, God, if this is for me, then you will open every door. And
Right.
Arun, when I tell you he did, he did. He opened
Yeah.
every door for us to move here. And I'm so grateful that I did.
Yeah, we have to believe in God, that He
Oh,
knows what He's
yes.
doing and all that. So sometimes it's
Yes.
hard, though. Sometimes it's not easy. So,
Yeah, it's not easy, but it was beneficial.
yeah. So tell me more about your vision issues. I know you say you moved to Houston, and then did you get involved with the lighthouse, or how did you come across the lighthouse in
I
Houston?
finally got involved with the Lighthouse of Houston in 2017, and that's after I lost the right eye vision completely.
Hmm.
So at the beginning of January 2017, I was diagnosed with lymphoma cancer in my right upper arm,
Wow.
and I had to start doing the chemo treatments. In the midst of doing the chemo treatments, I noticed that my vision in my right eye
Hmm.
started deteriorating. And I was like, oh, no, this cannot be happening. Have been fighting to hold on to that one eye for so long. And here now
It seems funny now, but
yes, but we can laugh about it now. But here now, I'm going through this chemo, and the chemo and the steroids is causing my vision to deteriorate.
Mhm.
So I wanted to stop. I was like, I told the nurse, I said, no, because it's affecting my the remainder of my vision. I don't want to do it no more. And she said, no, Danielle, you have to.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do this chemo. She said, you're just going to have to learn to function as a totally blind person, but you are almost there. I was almost done with the chemo,
Right.
you know, and it was hard. It was really hard. I think that was when I hit rock bottom. That's the first time I can truly say I hit rock bottom in my life.
Mm.
Going through the chemo and having to experience losing the remainder of what I had left as my vision.
Yeah, you know what gets me, Danielle? It's like I see other people that have it easier than me.
Hmm.
That's what it seems like, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I don't know. I guess
yeah.
we all
Those
have our
around
trial.
us who have that partial vision left,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, and I will be honest, sometimes I get a little jealous
Right.
because I want that. I want to be able to function with what they have, and then to listen to them complain about it. I'm like, you're so ungrateful.
Right.
Like, what? I wish I had half of what you have to see the little bit that you can
People that can
see.
drive. To me, what gets me is like people that can drive, and because
Yeah.
we spend so much time waiting around for Metrolift and all that. But
Oh, we don't want to talk about that.
yeah. Anyway, but let's move on to. I know you started a new group recently, right?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I started uh,
It's called Dreams, right?
Dreams Elite Social
Mm-hmm.
September 9th of this year. I
Mm-hmm.
transitioned from being a coordinator over another group to starting my own group through prayer,
Mm-hmm.
faith in God, and because I should have started a long time ago, but I allowed naysayers and people to
Right.
discourage me that I wasn't good enough, or it wasn't going to work, or nobody's going to listen to the ideas that you have, because in their minds their thoughts was blind people should not be trying to help other blind people, or anybody to say in the community. We
Mm-hmm.
cannot do outreach. Says who?
Right. So,
Our eyes don't work,
right,
but my
our brain,
hands do,
yeah,
my mouth does,
your
my
brain,
brain does.
right, right. So, what kind of people are coming, or do you want? Um, no, let me phrase that better. What kind of people should get involved in? I mean, I'm just like talking over myself. Um, what kind of people should get involved in your group?
Positive people,
Mm-hmm.
those who have creativities, gifts, talents, ideas, who are not fearful of thinking on a higher level, who are not afraid of getting out and putting your hands to the plow.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are a social connections group. Okay. We are going to do fun activities, but I just have this passion and this drive that we can do more in the
Right.
community. Recently, we did a winter essentials drive, partnering with another organization to
Mm-hmm.
give socks, gloves, hats, scarves, and hoodies
Mm-hmm.
to Star of Hope Ministry.
That's
My
cool.
heart is with those people that are, I don't like using the word homeless, so I say unhoused.
Right.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people in your group are they? I guess they have visual impairments, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right now, 90% are visually impaired. I do have some sighted volunteers that I am so grateful for. Volunteers are hard to find because
Yeah.
I think they're kind of weary when it comes to the BBI community.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've heard some negative things. I guess some people have gotten burnt out
Mm-hmm.
by, I don't know, because I'm still new. So, I'm just very careful and selective. But most importantly, I try to be kind to each and every person that I meet. I love people. I
Right.
love meeting people right where they are
That's the way I
until
am
you show
too.
me otherwise.
Yeah, that's the way I am too. So,
Yeah. I just don't have the energy for negativity. I don't
mhm.
want to live in negativity. I want to live in a place where, I'm positive in my mindset, positive in my thinking,
That's
you
what a
know?
lot of people don't realize is it doesn't matter if you have money, it doesn't matter if you have a fancy car in the driveway. We
Yeah.
all got problems. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't care. It's
Yes.
just a different set of problems, you know.
Yes. Yes, sir.
But
Most definitely.
so how does one go about when do you guys meet at the lighthouse? You guys
We
meet
meet at the
once a month?
Lighthouse every second Tuesday of the month. Our next meeting coming up is going to be January 13th. I am looking at a new way on how I'm bringing new members into the group.
Hmm.
Um, I have a board now because we are operating as a nonprofit organization. So this is almost like a business, you
Right.
know. So we have to be very strategic in who and not to say who, but kind of like who, but how people want to come in and what they're looking to do as
Hmm.
far as being a part of the group. There may be people that don't want or desire to do some of the things that we do. So they may be considered inactive members. Then we have active members who they want to get out there. They're ready to go to work and see, what all we can accomplish and tag teaming and partnering in or collaborating with these organizations and being a part of something major, something huge.
Right.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to get a hold of you,
Yes.
let's give out your email. I think that's the
Um,
best thing. So
we finally have our email set up. So we have our email address as, of course, dreamselitesocial@gmail.com. Or they can just call me directly. My phone number is 832-277-2411. My name is Danielle Chaplain. I am the founder and the president of Dreams Elite Social. We are currently working on our business Facebook for right now. I have someone helping to manage that. So I'm excited about that as well. So we have a lot of things that are going to be in place by the new year, prayerfully. Prayerfully,
well,
everything will
yeah,
be in
yeah. I
place.
mean,
Yes.
you'll get it done, I'm sure. So
Yes.
so let me ask you this, Danielle. Was there anything else that you we left out that you wanted to cover? I
Um,
think we covered everything, right?
I think we covered everything for the most part. I know you say you wanted short and sweet, so I didn't want to overwhelm you.
No, no, it's fine. I mean, because I wanted to help, I want to help people.
Hmm.
We want to get the information out, and it's up to the people to come out and support you and all that. And I really
Yes.
appreciate you doing this. And if you guys want to reach me, my email is grabbingcoffeewitharun@gmail.com.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You have a
Bye,
good one.
y'all.
Bye bye.